Hello, everyone. This is Darcinovia here. I am back once again, and this is another review on Knights of the Old Republic. This time, it's on the Days of Fear story arc. If you've ever played Knights of the Old Republic 2, I think you'll be familiar with the planet called Serico, which is mentioned a good amount in that game by certain characters. Especially if you go to Nar Shaddaa or you hear it from Atton. Now, we never got a chance to actually see the planet get sacked by the Mandalorians. And in this story arc, we actually get to see it happen. And in my opinion, that is one thing I loved about it because I'm a huge fan of both Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2. And seeing events mentioned in those games actually come to life in this comic is why, I love this. Of course, another thing about this, comic is we get to see Carf Onasi. Go figure. You know, he's probably one of the characters in Knights of the Old Republic that I find to be the most annoying, but for some reason he's a badass in this comic. And I kind of find him more likable here than I ever found him likable in the game. Now, another thing I love about this comic is the artwork, which I know I've mentioned this a lot, I think is great in this arc and the arc that follows it. I mean, this particular panel is an example of that. And in my opinion, another reason why this arc is my favorite. These because the art is like the most consistent of this entire comic. I mean, these panels are beautifully drawn. Even if there isn't much action in this comic, one thing I love about this comic is, you know, the kind of things that Zane is struggling against in this, story arc. Because he's accused of a crime he did not commit, and he sees, something that's about to happen, and he is unable to stop it. This is, in my opinion, a story arc of failure, of someone that fails miserably at doing what they try to do. And unlike Jake Ellenmilker, Zane doesn't go around, fuck the Jedi, I'm just going to allow it to end, or whatever. And here's another thing I like about this comic, actually. It gives you some more lore at the end of each issue. Like, if you're familiar with these things, it's essentially like a news feed in universe. It's essentially a newspaper about the stuff that happened, in, this comic. And that's what I like about this. It's an extra bit of lore at the end of each issue. And that's what I love about this. I mean, we get to, like, read about, certain events from the perspective of other, people that we never know, like the average person. And, oh man, the shots, in this for all of these comics, holy crap. I mean, I think it's great, this story arc. And it makes me want to read the next one. Because, in a way, this arc, is a precursor to the next arc, in a way, and the arc that will come after that. And a thing I love about this comic is how it shows the emotion of Zane at the end of this issue. I mean, if you could look. Yes, this art is beautifully done. And you can't help but feel bad for Zane at the end of this story arc. All he wants to do is save people, and no one believes him. And when they actually finally believe him, it's too late. The entire planet of Serico is just getting freaking sacked by the Mandalorians. It's great. It really is great. This is the story arc, the art, the story, everything. And I have to give this a classic rating. I think it's really good. If you haven't read, this series yet, what are you waiting for? Seriously, pick up this comic. The Epic Collection is so easy to find. Pick this comic up. This is the expanded universe at its best, in my opinion. And I'm going to leave that thought for the next story arc, which will be Knights of Anger. Later, everyone. May the Force be with you, and see you guys next time with another video. Later.